Because like one of the things about this story is, like I've tried to set up, like there was a lot of like different, like you lived a different life to other people. You grew up differently than other people. You weren't just a guy who was just a chill guy. Just like, oh, I'm just here to get along, happy, go lucky. You're not that kind of person. So as a result, because you were so good and because you were able to beat some of these Koreans, people basically took you and they just made you into like a WWE villain. You were like the heel, you know. So like, I mean, to be fair, you did also do stuff like sort of tell people to go fuck themselves and do fuck you symbol to the crowd and stuff like. Tell me about that angle, because the problem with that is, right, mate, if someone is a wrestler, they do that, right? They're sort of enjoying the fact that they're acting, aren't they? They're purposely making people mad to fuck with them. It's a bit like what I do on Twitter, where like I'm intentionally obnoxious because I already don't like them anyway. So it's like, fuck it, let's have fun with this. But sometimes it was real with you. Were you sometimes playing up to the crowd aspect? How would you describe it?
I mean, of course, I was playing up to the crowd to some extent, like Nesty, for example, like the thumbs down and all that kind of stuff. I just thought it was like interesting and funny, you know. Like I guess I have like a very simple mentality in some way. Like I think if somebody does something to me, I can do the same back. So in that case, for example, he was talking shit in interviews and saying he was gonna beat me when he was playing against me, and then I won, and then I thought, okay, well, you talked smack, so now I'm going to give you a thumbs down, for example. But other times it was more like you were saying, like for example with Polt, I was like practicing with him in Korea. I thought I could trust him, and then I found out, or like I heard that he had like leaked replays to MVP, for example, before our like round of 8 in GSL. Is what I heard from other Koreans in my team back then. It was like StarTale, I think.
Sure.
And that kind of stuff was not as much in good spirits from my end.
Sure. Right. Yeah. When you describe this like kind of setup in this way, one of the weird things is I've even seen this effect, right? Which is the way you know why like they do things like that in wrestling and in movies. They always like the bad guy always has to not just be bad, but he has to be like evil, and you have to be like, oh, I hate this guy. It's like Game of Thrones. Like think of that character Joffrey, right? When you were watching the show, you were like, I fucking hate this character. But when the character died, you were almost like, I wish that character was back, actually. You know, like it almost played a role, didn't it? Like, dude, I've seen people have this response to your career right up until you started to become more inactive and started to go towards retirement. People used to hate you online. Like, they were just talking so much shit. But as soon as you started to drift away, they were almost like, oh, where's NaNiwa? Like, oh, it was cool when he was around. Do you get that sense?
Yes. I've heard that a lot. And it's kind of weird, but it makes sense. Like you said, like, I personally never found the players very interesting, you know, like either you have to be amazing, like super amazing at the game, like that your game speaks for you know, like in a sense, or you have to be like really good and have a personal side to it, in my opinion. Like I could never really get excited for matches from a lot of the other foreigners and Koreans. Like, I don't know if I should name names, but like whatever. I'm fucking retired. Who cares?
Yeah,
I mean, like
for
for example, Snoot, Bunny, those kind of people. You know, like the European player, not the Korean. Like I could never really understand like what's the point in just like tilting your head down and saying that my opponent played well, it was fun, they were great, I'm going to lose the next time. Like it's not not entertaining in my mind. You know, like I always wanted it to be exciting. Like when I was in pro gaming, I wanted it to be exciting for me and for the audience, I suppose. Like it was not as much about the audience, but it was more about like, I wanted it to be exciting. And I always found it a lot more exciting when there was like some form of rivalry, shit talk, and all that kind of stuff too.
Sure.